All right, tonight is another episode of Israeli Baseball Archives. I'm here tonight with my good friend and teammate. Can you tell us your name?
I'm Ben Fletcher.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
And where are you from?
I'm from near Toronto, Canada.
Nice. Do you have a favorite pro baseball team?
I love the Blue Jays.
Any player in particular?
I was a big fan of Roy Halladay growing up, Carlos Delgado, and now I'd say my favorite player is Russell Martin.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan too, so I love Martin. He's just a great bat stuff. So, what's your relationship with the IAB? Player, coach, umpire, both, something else?
So initially I reached out to the IAB for an umpiring role. In Canada, I work in a semi-pro baseball league as an umpire and figured that I would be able to take my talents to Israel. And when I reached out to Justin Pedin, he gave me information on umpiring, of course, but he also spoke to me about coaching and playing. So I've had the privilege and the honor to work in all three facets, as a player, as an umpire, and as a coach, and it's been really rewarding so far.
So you said also, that's great that you coach semi-pro here. Is there a difference between umpiring there and umpiring here? What experience do you like better? Or, I don't know, not better, but
Umpiring at home and umpiring here are two very different stories, but, at the end of the day, home plate hasn't moved in about 150 years, and, you get back there and it's like riding a bike.
You said you're a player too, so what position do you play?
So I've been playing a lot of pitcher since I got here, really putting this arm to use. And when I'm not doing that, I love to spend my time in center field and at first base.
We love having you there as well, especially that pitcher. How'd you get into baseball?
When I was born, my father put a baseball in my crib, and that sort of set the tone for how things were going to go for the rest of my life. When I was 3 years old, I started playing baseball in the only association that would take a 3-year-old player. And when I was 8 years old, I started umpiring in the only association that would take an 8-year-old umpire. So I started a lot of things young, and I think that gave me the background and the experience to fall in love with it and still be enjoying it today.
So baseball's just been a part of your life since day one.
Been in my veins since day one, absolutely.
What's your background with baseball? What are some of your baseball accomplishments? Did you play on a certain team, umpire for certain years, some accolades?
My highlights would be, just before coming to Israel, I umpired the Canadian National Championship, and that was a really exciting opportunity for me because it was the highest level of baseball. We traveled around, lived the VIP lifestyle a little bit, which I'm a big fan of. As far as my playing days, the highlight for that would be in my final year of high school. I started the baseball team in my high school, and we ended up winning a provincial championship, which was a huge accomplishment for a team that was just starting out. So I've had a lot of fun, and whenever I see an opportunity to create more baseball, I'm always going to go for that. So it's been a really fun last 2 decades.
It seems like you're pretty well known in Canada, or at least baseball-wise. I don't know about otherwise. Maybe also that as well. You definitely left your mark there. Now, you're leaving your mark here as well. So it must feel pretty good.
It's great. I came to Israel with no expectation to be involved in the baseball community because I didn't know that there was a baseball community. But about a month of being here, I got, I guess you could call it homesick from lack of baseball, and I sent out some feelers, and when I reached out, the community here was super receptive, and that was all I needed to make the jump and to join it over here because a year without baseball was one of the most daunting aspects of coming to Israel, and now that that's not a problem, I'm abundantly happy.
This community provided you, giving you a place to play, and you obviously give back through coaching and umpiring, so it's a nice relationship right there.
It's been an excellent relationship.
What do you like about the IAB?
What do I like about the IAB? I really appreciate the culture that surrounds it. The league is full of guys who show up and work hard and play hard, but at the end of the day, everybody is enjoying themselves and getting that little slice of back home that they miss, or for some of the Israeli guys, getting the experience that the Americans have had, like me growing up for the last 20 years. So it's a really, really excellent league with a great culture, with a compete level that's right where it ought to be. and it's been excellent, very supportive.
What do you see the IAB as like a one-of-kind league? Like, is it similar to back home or like pretty different?
I've never seen anything like it. You come to a country and you're playing baseball with a few people who are long-term residents, with some people who are on internships like myself, some people who are Americans that have made Aliyah and moved here in the recent past. And it's a very unique culture, a very unique group of people. As for the league, you know, you're in a very unorthodox area for seeing baseball, and yet here we are on a beautiful field with high-quality baseball being played. So, you know, there are definitely aspects that are super unique and very interesting in the Israeli Baseball League. But at the end of the day, it goes back to looking a lot like home, and that it really feels good to feel like back home.
Yeah, especially since you had no idea if you'd play baseball here for a year. And that was
Had no idea.
Yeah, pleasant surprise.
Absolutely, couldn't be happier about it.
What can be improved about the IAB?
What could be improved about the IAB? The one thing that I would hope for moving forward is that more and more people find their way into the IAB. As it sits now, the league could use more teams and more players, and if that were the case, that would just be add nothing but value. I've spoken to people who say, "Oh, I played back home. I had no idea there was baseball in Israel," and this doesn't surprise me because I was in the exact same boat. So I think that over the next few years, I imagine Israeli baseball will grow. People will find out about it. The league will grow, and it will do nothing but good for the league.
You already touched upon this. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit more. But how can we do a better job about making more people interested in Israeli baseball?
It starts young. There's no substitute for having a father that at age 1 is dragging you to Toronto Blue Jays games and putting you on his lap. But if there's any way to get more young people involved, then this is the way to grow from the grassroots level and build forward to create this experience for more and more people, especially native Israelis. There will always be Americans showing up, and getting the word out to them is a whole other can of worms. But to get those native Israelis into the game and start playing this instead of soccer, or in addition to soccer, is huge.
Yeah, just gotta ground up. Has to be homegrown players. As much as we love being here, being the foreigners that we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think that there's like more widespread information about pro baseball back home, and that more Israelis would be interested?
That's an interesting point. One of the biggest struggles I have here as a Toronto Blue Jays fan is the fact that sporting events start at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and the only opportunity I have to watch is to wake up in the middle of the night, or to watch highlights in the morning. And that makes it very hard, and that's an added challenge for sure, being on the other side of the world. But the world of basketball seems to be making it work, and I think that might be the place to look to see where influence could be created in bringing an American game to the desert.
Mm-hmm. So do you think if even just posting the scores and stuff or something from back home, or the standings, and maybe give game summaries in the paper, do you think that would help as well?
Absolutely. Anything to get people excited. There's lots of opportunity for big stories to break. I mean, we're so fired up about it back home, and if this could get carried over somehow, then that would be huge. Because seeing it on TV, seeing it in the news, seeing it on the internet, on the computer, on social media, big game changer.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.